you are right now. You could hook up with us online and do it by typing Voice of the People 90.3 FM, and then you see everything on YouTube. We're streaming live. All right, so for everybody far and near, it will be awesome for us to be together today to talk about everything that is in your heart that you want to talk about. That thing that is making you want to rant about, possibly maybe the state of the nation again, or maybe what's going on in your society, or maybe what's going on in the world. Information is information. You want to spit it out. You want to rant. You want to vex and vent in a very, in a profound way, not, in a bad way, so that laymen out there would understand. Okay. So that's why we always say you have to be civil. Okay. So welcome on board. Right. And I already have what we will be talking about on, I've got too many things to talk about. The case of the arrest again, which they've actually summoned the NLC president again. And of course, the general secretary for some kind of, that's what we hear. But who knows what's going on? But then there are too many other things I want to talk about. And I hope that you also have yours to talk about. So you could talk your talk and I go talk my talk and we go talk our talk. And we're going to do it together here today. All right. But before I get into all of that, it's today happens to be a wonderful day. It's on the International Day of Victims of Enforced Disappearance. Today is the International Day of the Victims of Enforced Disappearances. It happens every 30th August of every year. And knowing full of that, some of you actually have some relatives that have disappeared. It is another, another time for you to take just a little time for you to be able to, remember them. And also looking forward to, like the United Nations are coming up with something to see how these can be the things that have passed. All right. So more than human right violation against an individual, there have been a lot of enforced disappearance has frequently been used as a strategy to spread terror within the society. And then, of course, the feeling of insecurity generated by, this practice is not limited to close relatives of, disappeared, but also affect the communities and, of course, society as a whole. Now, this enforced disappearance has, become a global problem. And it's not even actually restricted to a specific region of the world. It's everywhere. It's a global thing. So, and of course, once largely the product of, military dictatorship, enforced disappearances can nowadays be perpetrated in a complex situations of internal conflict. Okay, internal conflict. And especially as means of political repression of opponents. And of course, the particular concerns are the ongoing harassment of human rights defenders, relatives of victims, witnesses, and of course, legal counsel dealing with cases of enforced disappearance. The use by states of counter-terrorist activities as an excuse for, breaching the obligations and the still widespread impunity for enforced disappearance. So I mean, special attention must also be paid to specific groups of especially vulnerable people. Vulnerable people, I'm talking about children and people with disabilities. Recently, it's been told that a lot of people with disabilities and children have been missing. In this side of the world, in Africa, Nigeria, it's everyday thing. And sometimes some families are actually very worried and very worried. When I mean worried and so worried, they're perplexed. And, why are they doing that? Perplexed to report the case to the appropriate quarters. Because most times when you do, there is no action. And then, of course, I also read a particular article in the newspaper that said this regime has actually paid way for a lot of kidnapping. This regime has really, 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 and talking about it because of this International Day of Victims of Enforced Disappearance. Kidnapping is actually one of those things. But so when I say some families are actually finding it very difficult to report cases of, of their disappearances of, loved ones and relatives, is because there's nothing have been, done based on their reports and stuff like that. So you see, you have hundreds of thousands of people all over the world, in Nigeria, in Africa, that has vanished during conflicts or periods of repression, and at least 85 countries around the world. Okay, so who is to be affected? I just thought I should be able to put this here. Who are the affected people we're talking about? We're talking about victims themselves. The victims are actually frequently tortured and in constant fear of their lives, and they are actually well aware that their families do not know what has become of them, and the chances are slim that anyone will come to their aid after they've been kidnapped or after the disappearances. Okay, so having been removed from the protective precinct of law and disappeared from society, they are actually, in fact, deprived of all their rights and are at the mercy of their, captors. Even if that is not the final outcome and, the victim is eventually released from the nightmare, the physical and psychological scars of this form of dehumanization and the brutality and torture which often accompany remains. Okay, so friends, families of victims are actually families and friends of the victims experience slow mental anguish, not knowing whether the victim is actually still alive, and if so, where he or she is being held, under what condition, and in what state of health. They are alternate between hope and despair, wondering, waiting, and sometimes for years for news that they may never come. In addition, that they well aware that they too are threatening that they may suffer the same fate, themselves, and that their searching for the truth may expose them to even greater danger. So the family distress is actually frequently compounded by the material consequences of their, disappearance. And a disappeared person is often the family's main breadwinner. It's also, always like this. It's on the person who's actually having, the very important person in the family. He or she may be the only member of the family able to cultivate the crops of run the family business. Emotional upheaval is thus exacerbated. The emotional upheaval is thus exacerbated by, material deprivation and made more acute by the cost of in-court shield. They also decide to undertake a search. So furthermore, they do not know when, if ever, the loved one is going to return, which actually makes them difficult for them to adapt to a new situation. So in some cases, a national legislation may, make it impossible to draw a pension or receive other means of support in absence of, a death certificate or economic or social marginalization, and which is actually a frequent result. So Communities are actually directly affected by disappearance of breadwinners and degradation of the families, economic situation, and in their social marginalization. Enforced disappearance are actually frequently being used as a strategy to spread terror, as I said before, within the society, and the feeling of insecurity generated by the practice is not limited to a close family or relatives of the disappeared, but also affect the communities and society as a whole. So when one person disappeared, it affects the whole, because as I said again, it's majorly on people who are actually the breadwinner, that this happened to. So, having been removed from the protective precinct of the law and, disappeared from society, victims of enforced disappearance are in fact deprived of all their rights and are at the mercy of their captors. Some of the human rights that enforced disappearance regularly violates are the right to recognition as a person before the law, the right to liberty and security of the person, the right not to be subjected to torture and other cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment or punishment, the right to life when a disappeared person is killed, and then, of course, the right to an identity. Again, the right to a fair trial and a judicial guarantees, the right to effective remedy, including, separation and compensation, the right to know the truth regarding the circumstances of disappearance. So this enforced disappearance also generally violate various economic, social, and cultural rights for both as well as their family. Today is that day. They're given, remembering all of those who have disappeared all in the world, with so much ways and however that it happened. On the 21st of December 2010, by the resolution of 65/209 of the United Nations General Assembly, expresses deep concern about the increase in force or the involuntary disappearance of various regions of the world, including arrest, detention, and abduction, when these part of or amount to enforced disappearances, and by the growing number of reports concerning harassment, ill treatment, and intimidation of witnesses of disappearances or relatives of persons who have disappeared. So by the same resolution, the Assembly welcomed the adoption of the International Convention for the Protection of All Persons from Enforced Disappearance. And of course, they've decided to declare, and it will be better. Okay, for you to, that's the very first thing to do. So shout out to the United Nations, working on and on to make sure that the families and friends of the victims who experienced these disappearances, going through a lot of slow mental anguish, should be remembered. And shout out to those who are actually making things work for them. International Day of the Victims of Enforced Disappearances. There's been a whole lot going on in the world, and I really feel any family, and I definitely will be there to support any family who has actually had things like this happen to them or in the communities. Okay, so I have too many families that are complaining about the disappearing or disappearances of their families and relatives. So may God help them, strengthen them, and may we keep moving on to make sure that we look for a lasting solution for this worldwide. All right, so welcome back. Today is the open mic, and I'm not going to waste your time. I just want to give you the opportunity to be part, and Phone lines will be open to you. Just what is that thing that you want to see change? What is that you want to rant about the state of the nation, about the society, about the world, about any news or update that you have heard, bad or good? Is all information with good stuff that can be a blessing to everyone who listens and everybody who is tuned in. For me, first, I'm going to talk about this the situation of the NLC and the NLC precedent, and I don't know if you know. I think you should know. So again and again, the police summoned the NLC president, and not just him, but also summoned the General Secretary Ugboaja over an alleged criminal intimidation. Okay, so I'm going to put you up to speed on this one. Just today, okay, Comrade Joe Ajero, the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, and his General Secretary, Emma Ugboaja, have again been invited to appear at the force headquarters on September 5th of September. The first one, they appeared I don't know. Well, you have to get more information about that first movement and first meeting anyway. And some other things that have not been let out yet. But then this particular one, they're inviting him to come back again on September 5th. Okay. So this is coming less than 24 hours after the NLC president yesterday, on Thursday, honored an earlier invitation by the police intelligence response team. So the latest invitation by the police force intelligence department, the FID, accused Ajero and the general secretary, Mr. Manuel Ugboaja, of the alleged criminal intimidation conduct likely to cause a breach of public peace. They say it is actually likely to cause a breach of public peace and malicious damage to properties. This is the information we got. Now, this is signed by the commissioner of police, CP Ibitoye Rufus Alajide, the office of the Deputy Inspector General of Police Force Intelligence Department, FID, in Abuja. And the invitation later dated August 28, 2024. And I can't seriously start reading that. But he has been invited again. So many things is actually going through my mind. And I'm wondering, well, because some people, like some of you already know a lot of, you've gotten a lot of information. And some of the information that you got is not even in the news. It's not even near the print. Well, we're looking forward to see something different. We're looking forward to see a stable nation. We don't want any breach of anything that can cause chaos. Because I had to talk to some people, and I had so many things that people who are in government who actually thinks that they actually have a third eye to see beyond. And so I pray that we're not going to have issues with this invitation. And I hope this stops September 5th. Afterwards, matters should be you know, should be dealt with, and everything should be okay. Because if, as some people are saying, it might cause another kind of, trouble. I don't want to use any bad word in time to come. All right. Those of you who always travel, you just have to be very careful. I got a news of, a very bad news that 6 died, 3 injured in Lagos Ibadan Expressway auto crash. This is the period where we need to be careful. If you're actually driving your personal vehicle, you have to be very careful. It doesn't matter where you are or who you are. You might be a very good driver, but most times the problem is not actually from you, it's from somewhere else. I saw a video where somebody was on his own standing and the other one sitting close, and then a vehicle failed brake. And went straight. They hit both of them, one standing and the other one sitting, just like a little place in the roadside that looks like a park. You know how it is. And the one standing actually decided to dodge a little bit. It was a close shave. And the one sitting down couldn't run that fast, but of course survived, maybe a minor injury or something. So it's not about whether you are good in driving. It's if you can be very careful. Brake, any vehicle can fail brake from far, God forbid, and it might be headed your way. So if that happens and you're not watchful, you might get hit. So it's good for you to be careful. This situation is bad. At this time when people are looking forward to be able to make their life better, and losing loved ones is not a good thing. So 6 persons have been confirmed dead and 3 others injured in an auto crash that occurred just today. This is at Verona Ogere, Ogun State, along the Lagos Ibadan Expressway. So the spokesperson of the Ogun State Federal Road Safety Corps, Florence Okbe, confirmed that there's incident in the statement. Confirmed the incident in the statement in Abeokuta today. And according to her, is that a crash involved Toyota Sienna with registration number, and then struck and a truck. It actually about a Toyota Sienna with a truck that could not be identified. Okay. So she explained that the suspected cause of the accident was excessive speed on the part of the Sienna Space bus, which rammed into the moving truck from the rear view. So 2 men and 7 women were involved in the accident. Unfortunately, 2 men and 4 women died, while 3 women sustained injuries. The injured victims were actually taken to Opatmak Hospital at Ogere, while the disease were deposited at the FOS morgue, just like that. And this is instant. So I'm going to urge, but you'll be very careful wherever you are. It doesn't matter if you're far, near, anywhere you are. It's the same earth that we're living in. Be careful, be watchful. Speed these days, we're gradually actually falling into the environment. And I don't want to use that word, but I've got to. I'm in Nigeria right now. So you have to be very, very careful. All right. Too many other things I want to talk about. And then, of course, hey, gosh. Ooh. All right. So I'm going to stop here. And I want to be able to, I want to open the phone lines for those of you who want to comment on the particular stuff. And also, I'd like to let you guys know that Mpox is very much, moving in Nigeria, and I've heard that there's being people need to be careful. This is what I come here to do. I mean, you need to be careful. You've got to be. Your ears need to get to information. Any slight little information you get, please use it wisely. So Nigeria has actually recorded 8 cases of Mpox, or Mpox, that's monkeypox, which is now Mpox, as the outbreak spreads to 35 local governments in 19 states, including the FCT. So wherever you are, you have to be careful. Do not ignore what I'm saying, because some things happen to us and we don't even know exactly where it came from. So Nigeria has now reported 8 new confirmed cases. This is how we started. 8 new confirmed cases of Mpox in the last 1 week. So the outbreak has spread across 35, as I said, and of course, almost maybe more than 19 states of the Federal Capital, including FCT, that makes it 20. Okay. So we got the information that the records indicate a sharp increase in week 34 with 8 confirmed cases reported compared to just 1 case in a week in 33. Week 33. So I also heard that the Nigeria Center of Disease Control and, of course, Prevention and CDC noted at least 19 states, including the FCT that makes it 20, have each recorded 1 confirmed cases. And that one, if care is not taken, can actually go beyond, So we gotta be careful. I've come to advise you on that. All right. Whatever you want to talk about, I'm here all ears. I'll be waiting for you to call 0700-903-903-903, 08171756338, 0700-903-903-903, 08171756338. I just want to believe that the internet and, of course, the weather and the network will be kind to us today. Yeah, hello. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Izuchuku Godwin Udaja from Lagos State.
All right. You're welcome on board.
Yeah. Please, I want to know more about this impulse.
Okay. Well, I've already given you the latest format. I will tell you more about it again if you keep your ears close to the radio.
Okay, sir, please. Please be careful about that.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, as I said, Nigeria has recorded 8 cases box as the outbreak spreads to 35 local governments in 19 states, including FCT to make it 20, and is really fast spreading. I'm going to talk about it much later. Hello, what is your name, please? Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, sir.
What is your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Mr. Ekbu. I'm calling from Ugboaja.
You're welcome. Please go ahead. What do you want to? What is your open mic today?
Yeah, I want to talk about the zero invitation.
Okay.
In honor their first invitation, and they did not have too many serious questions pertaining to the cases that they put on him. And now they are inviting him back again. Are they the right people to invite him, or is the DSS that are supposed to invite him, or they should, if they find anything wrong with him, they should charge him to court so that he will defend himself at the court level? Not police inviting him and they will not have anything to say over it, or are they being controlled by anybody that they are behaving the way that they are behaving, distracting people's attention from the major thing to some other things that are not important to the masses? So they should know what to do at the right time. They should focus on what is worry the citizens. They should leave someone that is speaking for the masses to rest. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for calling, and I appreciate you. 0700-903-903-903. And of course, I got another one here is 08171756338. Hello, what is your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Mrs. Kenny. Good evening.
Mrs. Kenny, you're welcome on board.
Thank you. I trust you're doing well.
I'm trying.
Yeah, keep it up.
Thank you.
All righty. I want to talk about a few things. The first thing I want to say is to remind you, remember you said you were going to talk to us about black people and what black people have contributed to the world. So I took it upon myself to do our homework.
Okay.
Can I share 3 examples?
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So a black person is the one that created peanut butter. That's number one.
Okay.
Yeah. A black person is also the one that created the traffic light. That's
Okay.
number 2. Yeah. And last but not the least, a black person is the one that created, what they call it, permanent relaxer to perm hair. So we have contributed in some certain ways. And this is not just being exhaustive, just a scratch at the top of the year,
Yeah.
Perfect.
That actually came out when I was talking about, who we really are. We are Africans, and black people are blessed. And I used to say that a lot of time, even before we started having the Ice Age, the White King, 5,000 and I don't know, maybe millions and years of years ago, there was every part of the globe, every part of the earth was about black. Black was, kind of like divinity. That's God right there. And black people are God's people. And if you see why I'm saying this is because you find all sort of things here. The gold is here, the minerals, resources, different kind of stuff. The strength is here, the knowledge and everything is here. And, so let me not go forward. Anybody calling, like my friend from the UK, UGO, that called and said something about, I feel bad for him anyway. Living in America and Europe or in the UK doesn't make you're still the same. Even if I get married to a white woman and a white Caucasian, and I am a citizen, it does not change the fact that my origin or where I'm coming from, my ancestry is Africa. So, right. And we should know that in this place, black people are blessed, and the black land itself, the motherland of Africa, is so blessed and so rich. Recently, I posted something on my WhatsApp that in Congo, in Republic of Congo, they found a stone, electrical mineral stone that can power the whole world. As a matter of fact, just a little stone can power the world without any. I posted it for those who are actually close to where my number will see it. I posted it there. And I'm going to keep posting it again. Even my Instagram, I posted it there. I don't like to post because these days I'm trying to be isolated, but I'm trying to send this message because I promise. So when people calling and say, "Oh, Africa, that we are not, blah blah," because you leave outside of the country, doesn't make you different from us. That doesn't make you, I don't know which word to use. But we are blessed people, and we need to know that. So this is the time for us to know that we are blessed. And when you know that you're blessed, you're not going to play with yourself. You will not be, seeking for asylum. But I know the situation of the African country is crazy. Is a combination of the imperialists, the collaboration of the imperialists, and the criminal politicians that we have in our government. Which I will always say that, because how dare you tell me not to talk about such thing when which country have you heard that snakes swallow millions of naira? Which country have you heard that monkey swallowed document very important to the nation?
I almost took you seriously.
We've not heard it anywhere. This is the only country. Yeah, I mean, so I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So, I mean, you're right on point. When we start believing, when we start knowing who we are, we're not going to be begging anymore. We can't go to other people's country. Most of them are the ones, the imperialists actually taken from us. Yes, of course, love the country is just beautiful. But come on, that's a side game. You're making other country in Africa to be like the way it is. And then you're making your own country good. Taking all the resources here, exploit Africa, and then you make it good. I'm not saying that there are founding fathers who are actually involved in doing all that kind of stuff, but some other people there don't even know this. So we need to talk about it. Let them know that their fathers did what they did, and they're still doing it. There's a modern day slavery. There's a modern day exploitation going on. Okay.
I agree 100%, and I say amen, hallelujah. We black people are blessed.
Amen, hallelujah. Okay.
Yeah. Then I also want to say something else. There was a topic that came up, I think, last week, towards the end of last week and the beginning of this week, and it's been on VOP for a while, and people have been very aching about it, and I just wanted to shed a little light on it. It's about the 18 years old minimum threshold for getting into universities.
Okay.
Yeah, and people are kicking against it. I want to share something.
All right, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, I'm going to use America as a case study. In America, when you want to take your children to school, the first time you take children to school, they can either get into school in preschool or kindergarten. But it's mandatory for them to be in school first grade going up. So equivalent of preschool is nursery 1. The equivalent of kindergarten is nursery 2.
Yeah.
And there's a standard. Now, there's a cutoff date of September the 1st for a certain age minimum threshold. So if you bring your child to school and say, I want to enroll my child in pre-K, the first thing they'll ask is, how old is he or she? Mm-hmm. And you say, they're about 3.5 years old, very bright child. Okay, they say, when is their birthday? When is their fourth birthday? If their fourth birthday falls on the 1st of September, they will enroll that child for preschool. But if their fourth birthday falls on the 2nd of September, just one day after that cutoff date, I'm sorry, that child has to wait till next year. Okay. And there's no flinching, and there's no batting an eyelid. Mm-hmm. They're done with you, come back next year. Okay. Now, so automatically, if somebody sees you, and says, how old is your child? So say, for instance, how old is your son? My son is 6 years old. He must be in first grade. Because automatically they know how old you should be in one class. So 4-year-old is preschooler. A 5-year-old is a kindergartner. A 6-year-old is a first grader. A 7-year-old is a second grader. An 8-year-old is a third grader. A 9-year-old is a fourth grader. A 10-year-old is a fifth grader. And an 11-year-old is a sixth grader. Now, first grade to sixth grade, that is elementary school, which we call primary school in Nigeria. So you cannot escape those minimum age limits for those children. You must be this year old by the 1st of September every school year. So let's calculate. So we're back to sixth grade, that is 11 years old. Now you're going to middle school. Middle school is 7, 8, and 9. And those is just like JS3. JS, junior secondary school. So those are called middle school kids. So a 7th grader is 12 years old. And an 8th grader is 13 years old. A 9th grader is 14 years old. That's the end of middle school. And then you move on to high school. In high school, you have the 10 to the 12. So far we stopped at 14, right? Let's see. So the 10th grader is 15 years old. The 11th grader is 16 years old. The 12th grader is 17 years old. And the freshman in college, which is university, is 18 years old. Understand it? So you have primary school. Okay, let's start from the beginning again. You have nursery school, nursery 1 and nursery school, preschooler and kindergartner. You must be 4 and 5. Now, then you have primary school, primary 1 to 6, which over there, first grade to sixth grade. You must be at least, first grade at the first 6 and sixth grade at least 11. Then you move on to secondary school. Secondary school, we split it into two. The middle school, which is JSS, junior secondary school. So you now have 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9, the 7th grader must be 12, the 8th grader must be 13, and the 9th grader must be 14, at least. And that is junior secondary school. And then you move to senior secondary school, which they call the high school. High school is again another 3 years. So you have the 9th, the 10th, it's actually 7, 8, 9, yes, 3. So you have 10, 11, and 12, which is senior secondary school 1, 2, and 3. And that's what they call high school. So if you're in the 10th grade, automatically you're 15. If you're in the 11th grade, automatically you're 16.
Okay.
And if you're in the 12th grade, automatically you're 17. So there is no, looking about the bush, you cannot escape it. Now, let me come to another aspect. Oh, my son is so intelligent. He's a genius. Yes, your child is a genius. And there's a provision for that outside the country. I'll go into that again. And I have a personal experience because my children within those years, again, for the, my child is very intelligent. They identify that level of intelligence outside the country, using U.S. again as a case study. Only when you get to primary 3, which is the 3rd grade. My child is very smart, doesn't hold water in 1st grade, doesn't hold water in 2nd grade. It is when they get to the 3rd grade, which is primary 3, then they're tested. Now, there's some parts They call it the magnet program. Another one, they call it the gifted and talent program. The gifted and talented and magnet is the same thing. They only set them for 2 subjects, and that is English and mathematics. So you can be gifted and talented in English and may not necessarily be gifted and talented in mathematics.
Okay.
Or you can be gifted and talented in both English and math, or you can just be gifted and talented in mathematics. So they test you accordingly. And after they tested you and identified that, okay, you are gifted and talented, you do not keep grades.
Okay, so
Because they gifted and talented, they don't just move you from the 3rd grade and take you straight to the 5th or the 6th grade when you're too smart. No. You're retained in that grade, but when it's time for those specific subjects, the English and mathematics, they move you to another class where you have other people that are identified as gifted and talented like you, and they give you really challenging work that will stimulate your brain. So if you're truly very intelligent and smart, you will excel within that area.
okay, so
Now, it gets weird right quick. I want to wrap up right quick because I want people to know that jumping those grades is not helpful to our children, because a child must be psychologically fit, to be in a certain class with a certain age grade, and also mentally fit in terms of mental capability. So you have to balance the two. So when you are now in the 6th grade, and you continue to be a very bright child, and you maintain that gifted and
your voice is breaking.
Oh, I am so sorry.
Okay.
Is it better now?
No. So what is your take on this matter? Because I need to know exactly where you're standing. When people complaining about that.
I'm standing on stay on the 18 years minimum age requirement, because the children need to be psychologically prepared for university education.
So that's why I'm asking. You think 18 years is a bad welcome development, or is not a welcome development?
It's a welcome development. It's on point.
Okay.
It's on point. And that's why I'm juxtaposing it with the American school system and trying to explain, because some people are saying, oh, my child is so intelligent, they should not stop them.
Okay.
And I'm explaining to them that if your child is intelligent, there's what they call the gifted and talented that still maintains them within that same age bracket to function within people their age, but challenge them mentally to stretch them and continue to make them to, excel that way. Now, one beautiful thing I wanted to add, though, is that when they get to the 6th grade, there's a test they test. And that test they take will also come out to show if they're truly very gifted and talented, if they come out with a grade that says that they're commendable or just leading. So if your child is am I still breaking or?
Go ahead.
Okay. So what I'm saying in essence is that your child will consistently perform at a very high level. There's some children that fall off from the gifted and talented because they just cannot cope with the intensity of the work they're giving them. So if your child comes up with a commendable grade, in the 6th grade, they're continuously identified as a gifted and talented. Now, when they get into secondary school, there is sense in separating people from junior secondary school and senior secondary school, which they call the middle school and the high school. When they get into the 7th grade, there's also another test. There's an Ivy League school, I know, because one of my children was at that age when we were there. He was subjected to this rigorous training for SAT, even though he was in the 7th grade. And that SAT deals strictly with reasoning capability. It has nothing to do with quantitative, because they have not taught them the quantitative aspect. They haven't covered all the algebra and all those subjects for them to be subjected to that. But they're testing their reasoning ability. So when they test them that and they rank very highly, they are identified as in the talent identification program system. So when they identify that way, the microscopic lens is on them measuring their performance as they go through school. So I'm saying in essence, in Nigeria, in a nutshell, we did not create primary school. We did not create secondary school. We did not create university. We copied it. If we copied it, why then do we want to push and rush our children through school when they have that physical, when the psychological aspect is not yet there? We need to keep a wholesomeness to our children, keep them in the right classes, but challenge them mentally and keep them, their brains tingling for those that are very, very sharp, and direct them. And another thing parents should keep away from is identifying what courses their children will study. If your child is truly gifted and talented, your child will tell you what they want to study. I want to be an aeronautical engineer. I want to be a physicist. I want to be a chemist. I want to be this. I want to be that. It's not the parents that will tell the children, oh, you know what, you're going to be a barrister, you're going to be a medical doctor, you're going to be an engineer. No, the children will tell you because they're truly gifted and talented. So I'll say that is what the government got right. But as they have gotten this right in terms of the age limit, they should also make it a robust and very rich experience, particularly for the gifted and talented students within our midst. So may God bless Nigeria. May God bless all as individuals, bless our resources, and Nigeria will bless by Jesus' name. Amen.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in. Okay, fine. 0700-903-903-903 for the guy that was asking me to talk a little more of the monkeypox. I'm going to just give me a minute and let me just, brief him a little bit, give you some information about the pox. It's called monkeypox right now. It's called mpox. It's the same thing. It's a viral illness caused by monkeypox virus. Its symptoms, transmission, prevention, treatment, which I'm just going to, real quickly update you about. Okay. So, monkeypox is an infectious disease caused by monkeypox virus. It can cause painful rash, enlarged lymph nodes, and you can also have fever alongside with it. Most people fully recover, but some get very sick. Anyone can actually get this mpox. It spreads from contact with infected persons through touching, through kissing, and it's also through sex. You can get it through sex. You can get it through kissing, touching somebody who is infected. Okay. So literally is an infectious viral disease that can occur in humans and and other animals. And I said before, I'm gonna say it again. Symptoms include rash that forms blisters and then crusts over, fever and swelling lymph nodes. The general illness is usual. You start feeling that way. When you start feeling that, the best thing to do is just to go for a checkup. And most times when we go for a checkup, we don't tell the doctor or the people about what we are going through and exact thing that's happening to us at a time. Hello, what is your name?
Good evening, Brahim.
Good evening to you.
Yeah, my name is Peter Sifo.
All right, Peter Sifo, you're welcome on board. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I'm calling from Abaranje, Nicholson.
Okay.
Yeah, first of all, I want to start by talking about the most recent development in the politics. Yeah, one Tunji Bello who's just been newly appointed as DG of, I think, they call it something controlling about price control anyway in Nigeria. To me, he has given all the traders 1 month to make sure that they bring down the prices of their products.
Yeah. Okay.
I see this as being overzealous.
Why?
And to me, this is initial gra-gra. Just because it's a new appointee by the government.
What do you expect? What do you?
Initial gra-gra.
So what do you?
Being overzealous. You said what?
So what do you expect from somebody who just got in office, who was trying to please his boss?
Yes. That policy cannot work by telling the traders to bring down their products, the price of their products immediately.
How are you so sure that it's not going to work? Why can we just wait? Why can't we just wait and see how it goes?
On paper, people may think that it's easy, but practically it will not work. Why? I feel it will not work in the sense that though the government has just said they have reduced the duty, I mean that the imported items, they are duty free now. They have removed the tax from such items and of course the tariffs. But how about the subsidy on the dollar? Have they been able to do it? They've not been able to do it. And the government themselves, they don't have special places where they sell their own products. Unlike individual traders who import these products and try to sell it to the consumers. So it is good that prices of products to come down. But for government to say, oh, this is what you have to sell, the product, and this is not what to sell. I mean, to me, it's unrealistic. So I see it as a bit overzealous by their new and the appointee himself. That is that. Then there's one statement that Donald Duke, one-time governor of Cross River State, made. He said that the present government will go back to their policies they have made, especially on May 29, 2023, when he said petroleum subsidy is gone. That he should try to go back to that policy and make sure that so that people will stop suffering, and then maybe price of petroleum should go down. To me too, I see this as very unrealistic. You know, somebody trying to play to the gallery. Why I think it's unrealistic is that such policy is habitual. You know, that is the petroleum subsidy, removal of petroleum subsidy, and then the floating of the naira. We cannot go back to such again. The train has since left the station. I believe that the elite, especially the economic elite, who have been, heated to gaining from oil subsidy, are trying to fight back. It's corruption fighting back. Oil subsidy can only be said to come back if, for instance, we now know that those people who have been getting from oil subsidy before are still getting from it, and that our petroleum is still being taken away to other neighboring countries for sale. If that's just as it used to be when there was oil subsidy. If all these things exist, then I will know that actually the government will go back to the old policy and then restore the oil subsidy. You understand? But if we are physically analyze it and still find out that yes, that this oil subsidy is no more favoring the people, those maybe marketers, oil marketers who have been getting from it before, then I would believe that there's a light at the end of the tunnel for the poor masses.
Okay.
That we just have to endure, for some time before we will start reaping the fruits of this good policy. So that though we know at the moment that things are very expensive, you understand, because of the cost of high cost of petroleum products. That is the removal of the oil subsidy.
Okay.
But I still say that it is the political elite or the economic elite fighting back, corruption fighting back. That's why they are saying we should go back to that old policy. That Bola we should go back to that old policy. Then finally, I want to talk on this 18-year policy. That is 18-year students, taking a jam or WAEC. Are you getting me right?
Yes, I'm listening to you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So I think that policy is also commendable. But the only thing is that for it to be highly implemented and legal, there has to be an executive bill, especially from Ministry of Education to the National Assembly, to make sure that they legalize it and say yes, this policy should stand, this educational policies should stand. Then the president will send to such a bill and it becomes legal. Otherwise, people will start taking the government to court. And I believe that our own educational curriculum should also be changed to be able to make sure that this policy works, by making sure that there's skill acquisition by students or children before they are 18, before they take WAEC. I know the people that are actually criticizing this policy are majorly the private school owners, who are really making money from the present educational policy, where you find underage going to university or taking WAEC or NECO. So this, and not only that, some people are saying that why should it be that probably it is ethnocentric, in the sense that a region like the northern region in Nigeria are backward educationally. They are they are bringing this so that you sort of catch up policy, so that they will catch up with the southern counterparts. To me, it is wrong. It's very good, because you find that today our graduates are unemployable. Most of them, they don't have skills, they don't acquire skills, and they don't, fit into the employment market very well. So this policy is good, so that students will be able to acquire skills before WAEC or before they do JAM.
When you say
they mature enough to be university and come out with something good. That is my own submission for now. Thank you very much, Rahim.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate you, Peter Sifo. Okay, so talking about the 18 years policy of the 18 years policy for SSCE, WAEC, JAM, and the rest of them. Literally, the federal government has said that, look, it must have to be 18 years minimum age before you can enter a tertiary university. I think, I don't know, whatever you think is okay. But I mean, for people saying that, Nigerian children actually started attending primary school, elementary schools when they are actually 6 years old, and they spend the next 6 years old graduating at the age of 12 and blah, blah, blah. And Osifer is saying that they should be able to have, some skills doing. So who's going to do it? Who's going to do it? Is it the federal government, the state government that will come up with a skill acquisition kind of initiative for them to be doing something until if they finish school early enough, like before they get into the tertiary, maybe the university, before they start doing big things or get into college. They put them through morals, let them get to know some certain things before. Mostly Japanese. I'll talk about that later. Hello, what's your name, please?
My name is Fortunatus, Magic Pencil Unizik.
Okay.
So, great thanks to Peter Osifo. I really wish to take an exception to what he said. Saying that our graduates are unemployable. I think that's not fair.
All right. You heard that.
That's I don't think for me. I think that's just like a banter. I mean, as much as I like most of what you said, he says at times, but this one is actually he falls out. I'm not like I want to criticize, but that statement is like the one someone said earlier. I won't want to mention names that Nigerian youths are lazy. You know, I don't think that's not fair at all. That's not a true assessment. Maybe the people around you are not employable. That doesn't mean that everybody in Nigeria or undergraduates are unemployable. I think I found that disrespectful to the hardworking and skillful Nigerian and creative Nigerian graduates and undergraduates.
I didn't get that, but I apologize for his sake.
Yes. Yeah, because I knew as an undergraduate student of Nigeria State University, Oka, I was anchoring a program shows like you're doing right now on ABS, Oka.
Okay.
As an undergraduate, and I was doing it very, very well.
You were getting paid?
I wasn't getting paid, but it was like fun. Is what I love doing.
Okay.
I was more like I was doing shows all through school. I was doing like I was handling the cartoon club in music. So I was doing critics and I was coming up with lots of jokes, creative works and write-ups, and it was fulfilling for me. I was going on shows. I was happy. You know, it doesn't matter if I was paid, but I was really happy, and it was able to groom me to the point that I worked, and I'm still working with radio stations across Nigeria. And I'm a consultant right now. It wasn't because I read media; it was because I fell into that line of what I think is my passion.
Right.
So please don't. Nigerian graduates, even undergraduates, are actually employed. Most of us are in engineering department, but we also go to mechanic workshops after our lectures. That's the truth. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it. Fortunatus, you're Davy.
Exactly. Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Today is the day for you to talk. I want to get into a lot of arguments with anyone right now. I just want to listen to you talking, and and it's a great thing you call in. So you're wrong about that, yeah? Hold your government responsible for certain things. The system is really bad, so hold them responsible. And since they don't want to listen to the young people, maybe we're still going to hold them responsible in everything they do. I mean, that's what they ask us to do. Hello. Welcome. Okay. Hello. Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening to you. How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm fine. Is it Mr. Ola Adewale, right?
That is me.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Nice to talk to you on a Friday evening.
Okay.
Yes. Basically, I'm not a solution, or I'm not an expert to solutions to Nigerians' problem. But what I think solutions are the fingertips of leadership. I'm not sure whether they have the will or zeal to action. And the solutions basically are right there. But not having the will or the zeal to take action or to actuate actions is basically what the problem is. But the other end, well, I believe solutions will come.
Okay.
But can the solution come without a standard? I don't think so. I mean, does Nigeria have a standard? I don't think so. And we have to have a standard for things to work. And without a standard, nothing works. And what I observe basically is this. Putting the cart before the horse You know what happens when you put the cart before the horse? See, nothing moves.
Okay.
So they have to prearrange and reset it and put the cart we'll put the horse in front and put the cart at the back. But what they're doing right now is putting the cart right in front of the horse. And nothing works.
Yeah.
So, but are they doing that deliberately? That's a good question. Could they be doing it deliberately? Yes. And why would they? Is it self-aggrandizement? Yes. Could it be power? Yes. But what then what can Nigeria do? Do we need to sit at home? Do we need to just relax and say, okay, until 2027 and people continue to die? I'm not sure. I had a news this morning.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sad. I'm not sure whether I had it from Voice of the People, POP, that they went into a school this morning and slaughtered a lot of children. Is that true? But I'm not sure where I had the news. There was a news this morning that the terrorists somehow went into a school and picked a whole lot of children.
Yeah, children. Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Children.
And that happens in Nigeria.
Yeah, in the northern state, I believe.
So, I mean, things are not working, my brother, but we can't just continue to rest on our oars and think, because basically we are the government anyway. But do Nigerians know we are the government? I don't think they know. Do they know the power they have? No. I think the reason why is that they quenched, I think it was a deliberate attempt to quench education. No, they wiped out education, they wiped out a whole lot of things that will put people to awareness.
Yeah.
So I don't know the solution. Like I said, I don't have the solutions in my head because I'm not an expert. But
you have
what
an
I'm
idea.
seeing from them, I'm talking to you as a citizen from. Yes, I'm talking to you as a citizen from a distance. I mean, most of us that are right here at a distance, we see more. I mean, we can actually predict.
Exactly.
I mean, most of the diaspora can actually predict exactly what will happen tomorrow because we've seen the actions of the government, and we are experienced. We see what is happening in where we are, and we see how government works. So, but I think the whole thing is kind of left with Nigerians.
Okay.
I mean, yes. I appreciate me talking to you tonight.
Thank you.
I mean, I have a lot of things to say, but I will just let others speak.
Okay.
Hopefully, solutions will come.
All right.
But
hopefully.
I don't know when it's going to come. Thank you.
Hopefully. Thank you so much. All right. Good night.
No problem.
Mr. Ola. Mr. Ola Adewale from the United States, right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you so much for calling in, sir. Hello, good evening. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hello, Rahim.
Okay. Peter
You just give me 30 seconds to make a point on the educational policy. Hello?
Go ahead.
Thank you very much.
30 seconds.
Actually, probably
30 seconds.
The man that faulted my argument on the educational policy was saying that I made a generalization. Sorry, it's very wrong of me to have made that generalization because that generalization sounds illogical. But I must buttress my point once more that most of our Nigerian graduates are not employable in the market. I know what I'm talking about. You understand? So even that is the reason university system or even NYSC, they introduce entrepreneurship scheme. Check it out, right? I'm wrong. You understand? So today, this acquisition of skills program, is taught out by this present minister when they find out that most of our people, many graduates, are not employable. We have, in fact, all over the world, Nigerian graduates who are best in certain areas, in certain fields, in medicine, education, and the rest. Even in America, very few of them, few of us, the majority of Nigerian students or Nigerian graduates, have that skill. They don't have, they don't acquire that skill. I'm not talking of engineering students. Or medical students or so. Some of them, even these medical students and they go out. Because they feel that men are not there. So I'm talking generally about older graduates.
Your 30 seconds is gone. I've got another caller. I think this is going to be a debate between you and Fortunatus. Hello, Fortunatus. You're welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Did you hear what I said? You blame it on the system.
No, please, you have to bring that back again. You didn't hear the last thing you said. Please, can you?
I heard what he said, but I'm saying that he should blame that on the government, on the system, not the beneficiaries of the system. That's what I'm saying. You can't give what you don't have, what's not given to you. The system is faulty. Those who went through technical school, go and test their attitudes in those areas and fields. They do better. So if we're talking about entrepreneurial, let me tell you, most of what we learn in our universities today are researches of how many years ago. Relevant again. Who's talking about AI in our universities? It's the system, not the students. We can't give what we don't have. I so much think that there's a wide gap from where he's coming and where we are right now, like old school and new school. He needs to find a way to bridge the gap. We are far, far ahead. The world is leaving us behind. Yeah. That's my own concern.
All right.
I also want to say a little bit about students not taking work after 18 years or something like that. But some of our politicians are free to get married to our daughters, our children who are under 18. Is that fair? They should also do legislations also to be able to curtail this. You can't write WAEC before 18, but you can be married to. They can marry you before 18. That's not fair.
But okay, all right. Thank you so much for calling, and I appreciate it. That part is we've been talking about this for years. I don't think, because most of the people that have the power, the legislatures, many of them are actually the ones who are, they weren't committing a crime. So I don't think they can actually put that to law. That cannot be imputed in the National Assembly. It cannot be a policy. It cannot come out. Nothing can change when it comes to that. But I pray that it does change. They said the adult age of a Nigerian child is from 18. So they're using that yardstick to connect into this education or whatever policy, the 18 years policy for WAEC, SSC, JAM, and to getting into the university or the tertiary institution. However, we will improvise. For those who know how to alternate things, so many parents out there know how to alternate things, fine, we can do better. If you blame, what my friend who just called there saying is that if that is the case, you want a child to get to that particular age before he gets into the university. If that is the case, then also put a law against people who marry children. Yeah, so I understand that. Hello.
Seeing the actions of the government.
Hello.
You came late. UGO from United Kingdom. The man who says there is nothing. No, nothing. Africa. But that's why you ran away from the country and the continent, eh?
Yeah.
And you're enjoying yourself with the white man's land.
They own nothing. They own nothing. We own nothing. We are just kind of living.
Yeah, are you saying those things to provoke people, or I don't understand?
No, we own nothing. Everything I think we have.
No, let me put it to you, UGO. You're the one that don't have anything. Don't say that Nigerians or Africans own nothing. That's bad. That will not be good.
What is it? What is evidence that you have a cloth when you are naked?
I understand where you're coming from, but please let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. Don't say
you have suits. Your robe is full of suits.
We should focus everything on your government, your brothers.
You came to occasion with boxer.
Okay.
How do I put it? Boxer and singlet, but you have suits.
But the same people who are collaborating with your leaders to do this nonsense, they are the people you're staying in their land. Though. That land now is owned by them.
Don't say that. Rahim, you are married. I'm married. I think we are all married people. If you beat up your wife and I'm living in peace with my wife,
I'm still single.
Okay. Let's say, even if you're not married, assuming you are married and I'm married, and I ask you to go and beat up your wife, and you beat up your wife, and I'm living in peace and harmony with my wife, whose fault it is? As an adult, you are. Your fault or my fault?
Hold your leaders responsible.
I'm telling you that if you don't sweep your house, another person's house will always look and seems better, and will always look very, very conducive for you. You said they stole your gold. You said they took your silver. You say that they have taken you to slavery. Are they the one that are still asking your doctor to travel overseas?
Yes.
It's your policy.
Yes, they are the one.
Are they the one pushing your doctors? Your nurses over?
I don't want to.
Your policy.
I'm gonna send you something for you to read. I'll send it on to your WhatsApp. I thank God I have your number.
Let me be sincere with you. B2B said something. B2B said that he didn't see all these things as a problem. We are adults. We have our own country. If you have something you want to sell for me, and I don't want to, you don't 3 wives, and you have the brightest of the bright. You understand? And you decided not to hand anything over to them. You understand? But the one, let's assume you are a king, and the one you happens to hand over your inheritance to, you wrote your will. You exclude those that will make your palace to remain, and you give your palace over to a child that will not take care of that palace. And at the end of the day, maybe let's assume that is another word where you are hearing what we are saying now. You now heard that your palace has been sold. What will you say? It is your fault, not because you have kids that can take care of you and what you own after you've gone. You understand what I'm saying? So what are we saying? Look at what is happening now.
Okay.
What is happening now is anywhere you see Igbo man, kill him. Anywhere you see Yoruba man, kill him. Anywhere you see Hausa man, kill him. Anywhere you see all these things, kill him. You understand? Am I the one saying it or you're the one saying it? It is those that you say that they are educated that started it. But I want to tell every Nigerian that we have 2 tribes, according to one of our brothers today, Dr. Damage. He said we have 2 tribes in Nigeria. The 2 tribes are the politicians, the rich politicians, and the other tribes is what? The poor masses. So every Nigerian should know we have 2 tribes in Nigeria. And I want to still tell you one thing this night. If we die in their war, after the war will still end, and they will have handshake over our lives. Are you hearing what I'm saying now? If we die in the political war, you can see a Yoruba man who is the reason why you are still living, or who have, how do I put it, who have sheltered you over years. You killed him because they say kill Yoruba man, or you see Igbo man who is your customer, who have been giving you goods that you are selling in the shop, returning these things. You say kill him. Now, you see Hausa man. Look at what the bandits are doing in the nation. People came to your place. Okay, I want to use my own self to give you a little story. Rahim, I was in Lagos Island in 2016, doing well in business, but all of a sudden things changed, and I have to sell my 2 plots of land. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I sold the 2 plots of land in my own place because it is not in the heart of the city. I sold it any amount, and I took the money. I went down to Edo State in Auchi. I spent 20 because I want to invest and start business afresh. I've sold the land. I did the business 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021 November. I came to oversee. It is that the same money that I sold from that pieces of the land that I gathered, and they begin to do transaction. Go through that around that little money that I sold that plot of land, which is not up to 2 million naira of then. Because it was not in a heart of the town, it was in a how do I put this? The place we use for farming. Very, very inside. Rahim, that money, in fact, that 1.4 million that I was giving only 1 million in bulk and the rest in bit, was the reason why I am here where I am today. Let me tell you, how can somebody who price a piece of land buy it from you without any form of quarrel? You write document, the person sign. How can you come tomorrow and be saying he takes your land, he's trying to intimidate you? What of those that surrounded you with gun and they stole what belongs to you? What of those that are killing people overnight, taking away their lands? What will you call that? And somebody came amicably after that land, after buying that land from you, you are still associating with that person, doing one business to the other, and all of a sudden you started raising alarm that the land that you sold to solve your own personal problem have now become an issue. That the person stole it from you, the person broke your house or break your hand or whatever, taking what belongs to you. After, let me tell you, value, money you paid for anything is, in fact, is equivalent to that thing. Are you getting it? There is where they put that. They say the value of money is purchasing power. If you sold your land, your house today or whatever you sold it for a purpose. Except if you are foolish, except if you are stupid. If you are not stupid and you are not foolish and you have focus, you will know the reason why you sold that property in the first place. That is why the people say, if onye boli amba, manye zunori, let what you have be answerable to your problem. You understand? The worst thing that you can do is maybe when you go to steal. How can a man who vividly sold his property, amicably, people are laughing, joking, everything went well, and you handed over document in exchange of money, comes out and you begin to shout that your land was taken from you? How?
All right.
Rahim, I still want to tell you that piece of land, the same piece of land that I sold, I bought that land 2022. 2022. No, I bought the land while on the verge of coming to this place, which is around November, December 2021, December 2022, under how many years? The same piece of land. Though I bought it higher, but I bought the same piece of land because I need it. So what we need to do is to stay focused, and a lot of things has gone well. We shouldn't. We have no reason to die in their war, because at the end of the day, they are going to march on our ashes, and they still have their handshake.
All right.
That's what I want to say. Then coming to those that are saying it is advisable for somebody to get to 18 years to be in university or whatever, it's laughable. Do you know the reason?
Go ahead.
Any sport person that is not in his active days that is not in his prime at age of 18, 19, 20, I don't know when he will rise. That age is very, very significant. If you're going to serve Oga and you are not there before that age, our people say Boyoko, but that means you are going to serve Oga as an old man. Because before you finish serving, you are heading to 30. So how can a man start life at that time? If you go to university, you get admission to university at the age of 18, and it must be that you must get to that age. What if you want to study course like medicine? How many years is it going to take you? Plus your jump. How long? That statement is very, very outdated and too awkward. We don't have the same pace. Overtaking is allowed. Let everybody run at his own pace. As simple as truth. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, so it's 6 minutes gone past the hour of 11 o'clock. It's time getting closer to when we were still going to be taking some calls up in here, lending some, listening to you. 0700-903-903-903, 08171756338. Someone says I should consider the thickest color. Okay, this is when I was talking about the about black people. Okay, you said from Comrade James. Have you considered that the thickest color is black? Okay, I did definitely. The black is the thickest color. Okay, all right. So the man who is giving the federal government actually have come to say that they made it clear that candidates before getting admission in the tertiary institution must be 18 years old. And for some people, they're actually disagreeing with that, and some people say, yeah, I mean, it's okay. And some people ask them, what a minimum age for tertiary education in Nigeria? We say now 18 years is set as the minimum age for tertiary admissions. Aligns with the Nigerian 6334 educational structure measures to reduce undue pressure from parents on youngsters. I don't know, but if this is true, well, we're looking at it that way. Okay, so it's a new directive. Your federal government has already, they've put this out, and you would need to follow it. I know there's been a mixed reactions, yes, but then of course, it's crazy. So the federal government has also instructed the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board to enforce a minimum age requirement of 18 years of entry into tertiary institutions. The announcement was made by the Minister of Education. And this is the 2024 policy in a meeting of JAM and other exams to get into tertiary universities. So this enforcement of the 18-year minimum age is not a new rule, according to them, but a reinforcement of existing laws governing the admissions into the tertiary institutions and a whole lot. All right. Hello. What is your name, please? Hello? Hello?
Yeah.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah, am I on to Rahim?
Yes, this is Rahim.
Okay. I just want to say something concerning. Can you hear me?
Go ahead, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Concerning, yeah, I just want to say something concerning the age on gaining admission in higher institution.
Okay.
Being 18. They want to enforce it to be 18. This thing is in 2 ways from my own perspective.
Okay.
Yeah. if we look at it from the psychological angle, I believe higher institution is meant for matured mind. And if we talk about maturity, too, some people say that some people may have age and not be matured. But under normal circumstances, there is no how you can exempt age from maturity. I have my reasons.
Okay.
You see, I went to a very brutal secondary school in Lagos, to mention the name. After secondary school, I want to tell you that if I had the opportunity of gaining admission into higher institution early, immediately after secondary school, nothing would have stopped me from being a courtist. Are you hearing me? Nothing would have stopped me from because most of my colleagues, we went to secondary school together, who were not even there. The butters, I'm telling you, immediately they rush into higher institution. I just said this one has joined court. This one, if I tell you that none of them is alive today, you will not believe it.
For real?
I think immaturity is part of what contributed to this.
But some people will say that maturity. Some people will say that maturity doesn't have to do with age.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. But under normal circumstances, naturally, there is no how you exempt maturity from age. If they say somebody is matured, now let's take a baby being given birth to today compared to an adult that is a matured person.
Okay.
When that baby was you see, all of us that are adults today, we were once babies. Can we compare when maturity, in terms of maturity, why we were babies and now that we are adults? So we can't exempt age from maturity. The more you grow in life, you gain experience and you learn more. And this is how I define maturity. Second instance I want to give to you, in the early 90s, there used to be a boy that, went very, very popular. I wouldn't mention his name. This boy gained admission. He was from a school, I think Ifako International in Agege. This boy, it was in my presence, this boy wrote GCE. I'm telling you, we confronted him to ask him his age. He told us he was 11 going to 12 then. And we asked him what class he was. He said he was in JS1 at that time. And you want to write GCE? Could you believe this boy? The senior sister was the one accompanying him to the GCE center, and the GCE center happened to be the secondary school, the primary school in front of my school, So we interviewed him, we got his data. Could you believe when the result came out, this boy did not have C, he had A all through.
Wow.
The next thing we saw on newspaper was that this boy, youngest undergraduate in LASU, some people may even know this story I am talking about.
Okay.
This boy, went to LASU to read industrial mathematics. Very brilliant chap. His father was a lecturer in LASU, a senior lecturer. Could you believe that this boy was supposed to graduate with a first class, but it was that year he was supposed to graduate, there was a court war. Not knowing that this boy had been lured, he had the assignments for them and all those things. All the academic values they need from him, they were tapping it from him. He's got colleagues, So my point now was that, unfortunately for this boy, it was when he was in his final year, the court war started between his court and other courts, and he was seriously, in fact, they cut off his right fingers. They cut 4 out of his right fingers. And that boy was supposed to be 17 years. That year, he was supposed to graduate. And he would have made the record youngest undergraduate in Nigeria. Are you getting my point?
Yep.
So if you look at it from this angle too, I think there is a point. Then if you look at it from the other angle, we cannot, because of age, prevent, our children that God has with matured brain and intelligence from moving further. Look at what is happening in a particular program in, I think, one of the radio stations. I don't know whether I should mention the name here. Small time. 11 years, 12 years, look at the kind of It is a debate program. Look at the kind of intelligence coming out from this young one.
I know.
You will now tell me that because of one government policy, they shouldn't move further? That is crap to me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Good night.
Okay. Good night. Oh, okay. Kind of understand exactly where you're coming from. I understand. Yeah, well, more calls coming in. 1 or 2 calls, and now I'm gone. 0700-903-903-903. And there's been a whole lot. There's been a lot of mixed reaction. Let's see. Maybe the federal government should also come up with the initiative of allowing the very sharp ones. I don't know. Hello, what is your name?
Hello, big guy.
Hey, oh, Jesus. Casey.
Yeah.
You're welcome on board.
Yes. So, I'm so surprised that I got to see second to the last caller. I just tried once and then you picked.
Thank God.
So, yeah, this is Nigerian problem. Yeah, Nigerian problem is so tiring, honestly. It's so tiring. So, to me, this fact that the Northerners control Nigeria, they admit Nigeria, they are our tax masters. When they say the fact, I think it's high time we do, because when we do, there won't be agitation for selection and all that. Because it's like when they make the law, the law stands. You can't tell me that someone from the north or someone, because of his post, will just come up with a law just like that, so that he's working. At least there should be something he has done, and then there comes a law. Now, what happened to those who get married? Is it okay to get married at age 13? Absolutely not. But how come that and they signed it into law? See, I don't understand. Why is Nigeria like this? Do you conclude now that Nigeria is a country ruled by the north, full of corrupt minds?
No, I don't think so.
Brian, see, I'm proud to be a Nigerian, but when I see all these things come down, I'm tired. If you go to the east, they ban all these hoodlums to start destroying everything. You can't tell me an IPOP member is responsible for killing his Igbo fellow. It's a lie. We all know that. This is gathered by the top. Look at the judge, our new head of the new person heading our judge, CGN, or what is it called? This person has a bad record of taking someone like Hopus or the man who came forth to become first.
Wait, hold on. What did you say? I didn't.
I said the latest CGN was responsible for Governor Hopus Odima to become the governor of Imo State. She took him from fourth to become first. Was it justified? What happened the second? What happened the third? Him to be. And the whole Nigerians kept quiet. Just as they're keeping quiet now, to America, we are more learned than any other country. Am I correct? We have the highest certificate. There are more Nigerians with better certificates in the US.
Yeah.
It started with this age. With full brilliancy. Now they not want to retract it. They say before Nigeria can separate, I don't know if it's true, but I heard before Nigeria can separate, we must be of equal intelligence or educational.
Well, there's not a verified update, so that's just the thoughts of somebody. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's leave it begging there. But why is it that they will come up with such thing and nobody is strong enough to resist them? Because of our early education, there was one thing. I don't know if you know this guy, Israel Adesanya, from our middleweight champion.
Yeah, my favorite sports.
Yeah, he's also my favorite. There was a documentary he had. He said when he got to Venezuela from Ghana, I think, from Ghana to Venezuela, in his primary school over there was a question they asked, and when he answered it, he was surprised at the applause given to him. He was treated like a king, and he was surprised because he said in Nigeria it's a common thing that even the smallest will know and just answer it. That is the level of it that's given us. Now, why is it that a trap come and then try to make us redundant? Now, when they finish school at 15, my brother, what are they going to be doing? Are there provisions to engage these children before they come to eating?
Yeah.
No provision. Just like when they say...
Yeah, yes, there is. They say there is a provision. They are actually working on skills development initiative. So, they've not finalized it. Well, I believe definitely is attached to the policy, because if you come up with such thing, you must come up with this initiative. So, I mean, I heard that the Minister of Education mentioned it, introducing the skill acquisition programs for pupils starting from primary school. The initiative aims to provide alternative pathways for...
Oh, you just said we'll discuss it in town hall. Is it the town hall meeting with Balablo or the town?
I don't know what you're saying. I don't know. Definitely there will be a town hall where they will engage people at the end of the day. There must definitely be a town hall meetings.
See, my prayer is nobody should impede on our educational standards, because that is the price. Please, nobody should stop it. Nobody should reduce it. Nobody should affect it. Nobody should do anything to crush it or stop our progress. That's my...
All right. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you for calling. One more call and we're out of here. Hello. Who's in my backyard? I want to talk to you first now, and I'll leave. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes.
Good evening. Emeka speaking.
Emeka, real quick. Go ahead. You have 1 or 2 minutes.
Yes, I just want to chip in something. See, as an Igbo man living in Lagos State, okay, there's no how my group and myself will go to Mushi today, kill somebody, a Yoruba man, go to Sule tomorrow, kill a Yoruba man, go to Ikeja next week, kill, without the police or anybody catching our group or myself in Lagos State, without the support of some clique of Yorubas. It is not possible. If it's happening in the west, in the east, or in the north, they know those people from that area are supporting. See, let me tell you, last 2 years, November, they caught a truck carrying Igbos and Hausas in Uga. There's a town called Uga in Agwata local government, okay? While the ammunitions, they never caught it. It was the vigilante head that caught them in Uga and took them to CPS in Uga. So we start telling ourselves the truth. I went to Beria in Inewi South. Do you know, from like my two to Ikeja, I took Okada. There was no vehicle on the road. Some houses, just 2-3 people in the city. Many of the houses are locked. You understand me? So we are number one problem to ourselves. We need total reorientation before this our brain will start to work. If not, see, go to the east, go to Fege police station, go to CPS, go to Obidi police station, go to this one that is in Oboko area, go to zone 13 that is in Obo area that they came back from Omaya. Pass there in the morning, pass there in the afternoon, pass there in the evening. It looks as if it's Idumota. But go to zone 2 that control Lagos State and Ogun State. Pass there, it looks as if nothing is happening there. We are number one problem to ourselves. We need total reorientation before this God-giving brain will start to work. If not, I don't know. We are not doing fine at all.
Okay.
We are not doing fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling in. This one here says, a message I got here says, good evening, Uncle Rahim. I foresaw APC system of government rise up one day and sign one crucial issues into law that will jeopardize or generalize problems in Nigeria. Any government that doesn't regard education and the rules of law, let me be frank to Nigerians, this people doesn't love poor Nigerian and they have nothing to offer. Why APC government couldn't differentiate between bandit and terrorist? DSS secured court order to freeze 20 banks account linked to alleged female calling them terrorists without seeing them. With AK-47 gone wild, a certain group of people are terrorizing innocent children and women, killing them in cold blood in the north. But APC government brand them bandit in the state of terrorists is very shameful and a national disgrace. This is coming from Demzi from Ugboaja. My time is gone. I gotta go. I got 3 minutes to lock it on right now. I appreciate you. UGO, I'm not picking your call because you're gonna give me another bombastic talk. But so I think I'm good. I'm good, okay? Thank you very much. So until next time, let's just leave it at there. Everybody, you've got your own opinion. And concerning the Nigerian Canadian who actually they say was threatening mass killing of Nigerians, let's be specific. She said against the Yorubas and I don't know what the Edo people do. When we hear this kind of stuff, we should just know that, look, some people actually can be something that they are not at the time and try to cause problem, chaos. And so we shouldn't believe in any of these things most times. We should just focus on what we are doing. If we're actually doing the right thing, we should focus on it. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening to you. You're the last caller for tonight.
This is Ola.
Ola, go ahead real quick. You got just a minute or two.
Mr. This is Ola. I want to talk about something that is bothering me.
Ola, what is bothering you that you're talking as if somebody's chasing you? What's going on?
No, nobody's chasing me. I'm fine.
Okay. The way you're breathing hard, I don't understand.
Don't mind me. I'm fine.
All right now.
I'm using my sister number to call.
No wonder.
Okay. But what is bothering me is the information I got from her, because she will be going for her service. And she told me that, hello?
I'm listening. Go ahead.
And she told me that the information given to them on their letter that anyone going to the service, whatever they present them to, is at their own risk or whatever they are going to. So I want to ask, is it up to that the government will just send people to anywhere and say whatever happened to them is at their own risk? Whatever happened, they should call their family. It's stated in the NYC letter.
Oh, in the letter, in the NYC letter.
Yeah.
So they're exempting themselves that if anything happens to you, it's not their problem.
Yes, that they should call their family.
So why, that means in the case of kidnap, right? In case of the prone kidnapping areas, where is she going for our youth service? What state? What city?
She's going to
the northern states.
Hello?
Is it the northern states or what state?
The northern states.
Okay.
The Kogi area.
Ah. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know if this is actually stated there in the letter. That is Nigeria for you. That's the government right there. And I believe that.
Is it right to endanger people's life and tell them that whatever happens to you is at your own risk?
Anyway, I will ask a lawyer and I will search and find out and confirm it.
That's why I have to call this night to inform you about it.
I will find out. And I will talk about it when I come on again.
Because there's some news I had like 2 days ago that somebody said whoever is going to NYC, that they should be posting them to wherever they school or their residence states where they reside.
Okay. Yeah, I'm listening to you.
So I don't know why they will just post somebody to where he doesn't know about, and they will tell the person that whatever happened to the other person is at his own risk. He should call the family, not them. So please.
Okay, so I'm gonna find out, and then of course I'll get back to you. I appreciate it for calling in.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Oh no, not again. Not again. Okay. Last caller for tonight. 2 minutes and we're out of here. Remy?
Boss, I will be rush. I will be fast.
Okay.
Your Excellency.
Is anybody seeing me, or is it that my face is looking dark?
Hello?
Are you? Can you see me clearly?
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. Go. Okay, so Remy from North London. Remy, I think I should give you the opportunity for you to speak in my 1 minute. Is all right, my brother from another mother. Come on, I don't know where you are. Do your last move, and if you can. We've heard a lot of things like this from different angles, from the north, from the south, and there's been no. Even the government didn't take them serious, and I wonder why. Somebody who's actually living outside the country is somebody to take that what she said serious. What about those who actually say the worst things in the city of Lagos, in the city in Nigeria, in the north, in Ugboaja, but nobody said or did anything? So I mean, let's disregard such. Yes, what she said was wrong, and we heard that. People in authority talking about the House of Representatives, they've written to the Canadian government asking for whatever. I don't know what they're asking to do to the lady, but we should just disregard it. Atiku has condemned it. Peter Obi has condemned it. A lot of other, major names have condemned what she said. It was not good, and but we shouldn't take her serious. I don't think that could be. Let's take the ones that are on the soil in Nigeria who say worse things like this. Let's take those ones serious. This woman is far. We can look into her case. Yes, what she said was bad, but come on. All right, there's some more important things that we can take serious. All right, I appreciate everybody who called in. I am going to be here again Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and of course Friday in the open mic. I appreciate all of you who called in. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'll see you again. My name remains Raheem Terrence. I will be here again. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful and awesome week. And when we come into the new week, I will always say, have a beautiful and awesome week ahead. God bless you all.